Okay, good evening, everyone. So in the last class, we have seen like static website hosting feature on S3 bucket, right? So today we will discuss about another feature called versioning. What is the meaning of versioning? Any idea what exactly the meaning of version? Because there's a general term, right? Anywhere you can use that version term. What is the use of version? Or what is the meaning of versioning? Type. Okay, then okay, let us say if I create one file here, some file with a name called versioning, just a name of the file. And if I open this, and here I will say like hello all, and I will save it. So this is one version of the document, right? So I will close it. So that file contains some data. After a few days or after a few minutes, I came here and I can say hello everyone, and I will save it. If I open this file, what I can see? So this is the new version, right? New version of that particular file. What is the old version? Hello all is the content of that particular object. Is there any option that I can recover that old data? Is there any option that can I see what was the old version of this object? Or is there any way that I can recover the edited object or something, whatever it is? There is no such option exists unless you configure some kind of additional backups. Like before modifying the file, if you take a backup and if you modify, then you can recover the data. So this particular file have two versions, but at a time you can see only the latest version only, and all the old versions will be removed, right? If you enable versioning concept, but generally on Windows we don't have that, but on S3 bucket we have a versioning concept available. If you enable the versioning, it will maintain each and every variant of that particular object. What is the meaning of a variant? So if you take the same example of this file, first at the time of creating the object, we edited or we stored one line called hello all, right? That is one variant of the object. And then we updated the file with a new data. That is the second variant. In general terms, we call that as a versions. So if you open this file, whatever the data you are able to see, this is the latest version. And the previous versions, how many previous versions used to be? For this file, one, right? Which is hello all, which we already lost it. And there is no option to recover that particular old data. But I know what is the old version. So easily I can edit, I can do anything. But what if this object has a lot of modifications, which we cannot rewrite the document? Let us say this object is having like 100 pages. And I don't know where I have modified what words and what lines I modified. If I don't know, it is very difficult to restore the old data, right? But here, if you enable the versioning on your S3 bucket, it will maintain each and every variant of the object in the same bucket as a version. It don't maintain a different bucket or somewhere. It will maintain every version in the same bucket itself, so that we can restore or we can recover all the old versions at any given point of time. But in a different way, we can say that that's a kind of a backup, but that's not actual backup. Backups are a completely different one. What it will do is, whenever there is a change in the object, like you can delete it or you can modify the file, you can upload a new version of the file. Every time you modify the object, it will maintain a copy of the old version of that object. If you modify the file for 100 times, so that it will maintain 99 previous versions or old versions and one latest version. But any point of time, the users are able to see the latest version only. If I make that object as a public, so using the object URL, anybody can access the object, right? But at any given point of time, they can access the latest version of the object only. But as an admin, if you log into the AWS console, you can see all the previous versions and you can make any previous version as a latest version. So first, versioning means, or this versioning feature maintains all the variants of the object in the same S3 bucket whenever we modify or update the existing object. Whenever you modify an object, it will maintain the previous version, which is called as a variant. If you modify 100 times, it will maintain all the 100 variants as 100 versions. So in the previous example, I created one file in my laptop, right? So I modified the file with a new data, and automatically I will lose the old data. And there is no option that I can recover, or at least I cannot see the old data. But by using this versioning concept, even though you modify the object, the latest version of the object will be visible to everyone. And in the backend, all the previous versions of the object will be available. Okay, so here in this S3 bucket, totally there are 3 types of objects available. Those are, one is unversioned object. And the second one is a previous versioned object. And the second one is current or latest versioned object. If you take any object, that object will be one of these 3 categories. In the last few sessions, we created S3 bucket, right? And we uploaded a lot of objects also. Can you guess those objects belongs to which category of these 3? Which category of these 3? To know that, first we have to know that by default on that S3 bucket, versioning feature will be enabled or not, right? So by default, every S3 bucket will be created with versioning disabled. So whatever the S3 buckets we have created as of now, every S3 bucket is created with versioning disabled. So now, whenever you create the S3 buckets as of now, every object belongs to the unversioned object. If you modify the object or if you delete the object, it will not maintain any of the previous variants as a version. Once you enable the versioning on the S3 bucket, that versioning will be automatically applicable to all the objects available in that S3 bucket. Whenever you modify, the previous object will become previous version and the latest object will become current version object. And one more thing is, once you enable the versioning on any S3 bucket, you cannot disable the S3 bucket. Instead, you can suspend. What is the difference between the suspend and disable? Limited amount of time. Then what is the disable? Okay, let us say we created one S3 bucket. Assume that we created one S3 bucket and I enabled versioning. Okay, and I uploaded one object and the object name will be 1.txt. So that 1.txt file is uploaded at, let us say at 6 p.m. It has like, let us say hello all. That is the data available in that. And the same file I modified at 6 p.m. with hello everyone. In this case, this will be the previous version object and this will be the latest or current version object, right? And assume that at 6:15 p.m. I suspended the versioning. And then at 6:20, let us say I updated the file as like hello world. At 6:25, I created like hello something. What will happen now? First thing, whenever you suspend, what will happen to the previous versions? Definitely from 6:20 p.m. onwards, it will not maintain any new versions, right? But what will happen to the previous versions? Whatever the versions already created, what will happen to those existing previous versions? That's where the suspended and the disabled are difference. There is a difference between the suspend and disable. Disable means it will completely remove the versioning feature, in which you will lose all the previous versions. But on Amazon S3, there is no such option called disable the versioning feature. Instead, you can suspend only. Once you suspend the versioning, it will stop creating the versions from that moment onwards, but it will preserve all the existing versions as is, unless you delete them manually. So that's why Amazon will never support versioning disabled concept. So once you enable the versioning, we cannot disable. Once we enable the versioning, we cannot disable the versioning. Instead, we can suspend. Instead, we can suspend. After suspending the versioning, it will not create any further versions, or I can say it will not maintain any further versions, but it will preserve already existing previous versions. There will be no loss of existing previous versions. So what we do is we will upload one file, we will modify like multiple times, and then we can suspend, and then we will upload like multiple times again, so that we can observe that once we disable, it will not create any new versions, but it will maintain all the existing previous versions. That's how the versioning concept will be deleted. So is this only for the modifying the file? How the versioning will behave if I delete any object from that versioned S3 bucket? If you delete the object from S3 bucket, instead of deleting the object permanently, it will insert a delete marker, and the object will be maintained in the backend as a previous version. Let us say you have covered some object with some kind of a cover. Then what will happen? The object will be there, but nobody can see that. If you remove the cover, again, the object will be visible to everybody, right? In the same way, if you delete any object from the version bucket, object will not be deleted permanently. Instead, the object will be marked with delete marker. Technically, the object was deleted, so nobody can access the object, but still the object is available in the backend as a previous version. If you remove the delete marker, or we can say if you delete the delete marker, automatically the object will be restored. So we can use the versioning against the accidental deletion of the objects also, right? By mistakenly, if you delete any object, or by mistakenly, if you modify any object, we can use this versioning to prevent such kind of things, or to restore your objects. Okay, I can say that if we delete the object from versioned S3 bucket, that means the bucket on which the versioning enabled. If you enable versioning on any S3 bucket, that is called as versioned bucket. Instead of deleting the object permanently, object will be marked with the delete marker, and the object will be maintained as a previous version in the backend. And I can say that by deleting the delete marker, we can restore the object, and the object is accessible. And also here you can write down like object will not be accessible, because that is technically the object is not available, right? So that's why object is available in the backend, but the object is not accessible. Nobody can access the object using the object URL. But as an administrator or as a user with the required permissions, we can see all the versions and the delete markers. And at any time, you can remove the delete marker so that your object will be available. So to check this versioning concept, what we do is, let us create an S3 bucket with versioning, and let me use the today's date for uniqueness. And while creating, I don't want to enable the versioning, because we will see how to enable versioning on an existing S3 buckets. At the same time, I will show you like how to enable versioning at the time of creating the bucket also. Create S3 bucket without versioning enabled, and then enable versioning on S3 bucket. Then what we do is upload a text file, or I can say upload an object, and the name is, what is the name of the object? Version. Okay. Version.txt into the S3 bucket. And what is the data? Hello, everyone. Right? This is the data available in that particular text file. So this is the latest version because we uploaded only once. And after some time, edit the version.txt file in your laptop with hello all and upload it to the S3 bucket. All the time, whenever you are uploading, make it as a public so that we can check by accessing the object URL also. Every time you are uploading, the object must be public object. Upload an object into the S3 bucket as public so that anybody can access it. And the data of this is hello everyone. So at this particular point of time, again, every time you upload, you have to make that as public. So at this point of time, I can say that the hello everyone, right? This is previous version. And then the latest version is hello all. This is called as current version. Is that correct? Because this we uploaded first and this we uploaded second. And then again, edit the version.txt file, hello world, and upload as public into the S3 bucket. At this point of time, what are the versions? This will be the previous version. And then the hello world is the current version. In these two cases, whenever you upload the object, if you use the object URL to access the object, always the current version will be visible to the users. Always the current version will be visible to the users. So what we do is we will delete we will upload some object with some random data by mistakenly. We will upload the object with some random data. Again, like edit the version .txt file with some random data, which is incorrect data, and upload as public. So at this case, what will happen? All these are the previous versions. And this will be the current version. Now, after some time, we will realize that every user is able to see the wrong data. So I would like to recover the file to this one, because my requirement is to show the hello world as the data from that particular file. So what I have to do, if I remove this particular version, automatically the previous version will become the current version. If I remove this version, remove means if I delete this version, automatically this will become the current version. If you delete the object, that is a completely different one. There is a lot of difference between deleting the object and deleting the version. There is a lot of difference between the deleting the object and deleting the version. So here, at this point of time, we realized that the file is modified with incorrect data, and I would like to restore that object to display hello world. At this point of time, we realized that the object is displaying the wrong data, and would like to restore the object to display hello world. And coming to the hello world is the latest previous version, right? This is the latest in all the previous versions. If I remove the current version, automatically the very next previous version will become current version. So here we can write down like, if we delete the current version, I'm not talking about the object, I'm trying to delete the version. If we delete the current version, then the immediate previous version will become the current version. Like you can assume like some kind of a queue in which there are 10 people. So they are waiting they are waiting for something to buy from a counter. So you are in the second place, right? From the first starting, you are in the second place. So until the first person is there, you cannot buy anything from the counter, right? Once the first person leave the queue, you have a chance to buy, right? In the same way, whenever there is a current version, always the users are able to see the current version. Once we remove the current version, the immediate previous version will become the current version. What if I would like to make this as a current version? Do I need to delete all these three? That is what we know as of now, right? But if you have a different requirement that to maintain these two as a previous versions, and I would like to make this as a current version. For that, we have to follow a different approach that we will see after some time. First, let us see how to make this and all the things. So at this stage, what we do is delete the current version of the object so that hello world will become the current version. At this, after doing the seventh step, the status of your object will be like this. The status of the object versions will be like this. Okay, so now let us go ahead and let us do all these steps and to understand the versioning better. So first, what is the thing? We have to create one S3 bucket. So I will show you like how to create an S3 bucket and enabling the versioning at the time of creating the bucket. But I don't want to create a bucket with versioning enabled because I would like to show you how to enable versioning on an existing bucket also. So first go to your Amazon account and navigate to S3 service. Navigate to S3 service. I don't have any buckets in my account. So yesterday I deleted all the S3 buckets. Click on create bucket. So this is the name. And I will choose Northern Virginia region. Also, whenever you're doing the practical, stick to single region so that it will be easy for you to clean up all the services once you have done the practical. Let us say if you create one instance in Northern Virginia, one instance in Mumbai, and one instance across different regions, you might be able to track in which regions you have created what kind of services. So if you miss any service to delete, that might cost you some amount, right? That's why always stick to single region. It can be any region, that doesn't matter. Okay, so our requirement is to make that bucket as a public, right? The objects to be public. That's why I will enable ACL. If you don't have a requirement to make objects as a public, you can keep it ACLs disabled. And also I will disable this block all public access. Because if I enable this one, even a root user cannot make any object as a public. So this is the place where you can select enable so that the bucket versioning will be enabled. But I don't want to enable at this stage. Once the bucket got created, I will show you how to enable the versioning. If you select enable here, automatically the bucket will be created with versioning enabled. And click on create bucket. What happened? Okay, I used a capital letter. So bucket is getting created. So our bucket got created, right? So what is the next step? Need to enable the versioning. So click on your bucket and select the properties tab. Almost every feature is available in properties. There are few features available in different tab, but almost all features are available under properties tab. Select the properties tab. Yesterday also we used the properties tab to enable the static website hosting. Okay, so the first option itself is the bucket versioning. And by default, what is the status? Disabled. So click on edit and select enable. Select enable and click on save changes. So versioning got enabled. And here I would like to check, is there any option to disable the version? There is no disable option, right? Only suspend. What will happen if I do a suspend? This suspends the creation of the object versions, but it will preserve any existing object versions on your S3 bucket. Whatever the versions already available, they will be available. It will stop creating the new versions. Okay, right. So now what is the next step? We have to upload a object version.txt as a public file, and that must contains hello everyone as a data. So here is the object and it contains hello everyone. Let me upload that. So how to upload an object? How to upload an object? First, to which bucket you would like to upload, click on that bucket name. So here you can see there is an option called upload. Click on upload. Select add files. And you can select your file. This is the one. Click on upload. And I would like to make that object as a public at the time of uploading itself. So how can I make that? Click on permissions. Select grant public read access. Select this checkbox for the confirmation. and click on upload. So object got uploaded and the object will get an object URL, right? If I copy the object URL and if I try to access, I can see hello everyone as a data. Now, what is the next step? Let me modify that particular object with hello all and let me upload it. So I'm uploading this with hello all and let me save it and let me upload the same object into S3 bucket. Generally, whenever you upload any object with the same name, the old object will be replaced, right? That means the old object will be deleted. That's how it will work if there is no versioning enabled. Because we enable the versioning, the previous object will not be replaced. I mean, even though it is replaced, that object will not be deleted. That will be maintained as a previous version. Okay, let me upload the object after modifying. Click on upload, add files, select the object, and let me make it as grant public read access, upload. The same process I repeated, but with a different data. If I refresh this page, what will happen? We'll see hello all. How many times you can refresh? The end user will be able to see the latest version only. So if you go to the S3 bucket, what you can see? Are you able to see two different objects with the same name? Are we able to see the versioning.txt as a two different objects? Okay, if I click on the bucket, I can see only one object. But if you observe two different buckets, one with versioning enabled and one with versioning disabled, on S3 buckets with version enabled, you will get this new option, new button. So by default, it will show versions will be turned off and you can see only the object. But if I click on this, it will start showing me the versions of the objects. It has two different versions. Whatever you can see on the top, that is the current version. And this is the previous version. And you can see the time also. This object was created at 6:37. And the top one was created at 6:39. Would you like to see the data available in this version? For that, let us say if I would like to check what is the data available in this particular object. You can download and you can see, or you can click on open and you can see hello everyone. That is what previous version contains, right? So this is how all the versions will be maintained. So what is the next step we have to do? Again, let me upload the file with hello world and let me upload. Then you can see three different versions. Let me edit the file. Let me save it. Now let me upload that object. Click on upload, add files, version, the file name. In the permissions, let me select the grant public read access. The same process I am repeating. Just I am uploading a new data within the same object. Still you can see one object only. And if you click on show versions, it will start showing you three different versions. If I access the object URL, what will happen? We can see hello world. We can see hello world. So like this, you can modify any time, any number of times. Every time it will maintain each and every version of the object as a previous version. Always whatever is available on the top, that will be visible to the users. Always the latest version or current version will be visible to the users. How Amazon S3 will maintain all the versions is, for every version, it will assign a unique ID, which is called as version ID. Based on this version ID, Amazon will maintain which one is the previous version and which one is the current version. What is the next step? Let us upload the file with some wrong data, which we updated mistakenly, and we are uploading that. So let me upload the wrong file or wrong data with the same name so that every user is able to see the wrong data. If there is no versioning enabled, there is no other option to recover the data, right? because I don't have any copy of the data. In my laptop also, I'm modified without a backup. So I have to type each and every character, each and every line, and each and every page if I lost the data. But here, after uploading that, if the user start accessing the object, they will see some incorrect data. But because the versioning enabled, we have a facility to restore that particular object to the previous version. If you click on show versions, you can see there are 4 versions, right? This is the current version. This is the current version. Always the current version will be visible to the user. If I remove the current version, the next previous version will become the current version, and this will be visible to the users. How to delete the current version is you have to select the version. But if you turn off the show version and if you delete this, that is called as deleting the object. That is not deleting the version. If you would like to delete the version, you have to turn on show versions, select the version which you would like to delete. Always it is recommended to check before deleting the object. So this is the one which I'm trying to delete, right? Let me click on open to check the content of that particular text file. So right, so I'm deleting the correct version only. Click on delete. Now what it is asking to type to delete? Permanently delete, right? To delete the version, it is asking me to type permanently delete. Click on delete objects. And now how many versions you can see? 3. Because we deleted one version, so that the previous version, the very next version will become the previous version. If I refresh the object URL, we can start seeing the hello world. And the end users, whoever is trying to access the object, they cannot see how many versions are available in the backend unless they log into your Amazon account. Okay. So now what is the next thing we are planning? So delete the. Okay. So we are done up to here, right? Now what I do is delete the object version.txt from the versioned S3 bucket. So then what will happen? Then first thing we have to do is access the object URL. Then observe the versions. Because we discussed that whenever you delete any object will be marked with the delete marker and it is not available for accessing. But still that object is available in the backend as previous versions. So how to delete the object? How to delete any object? Give me a second, guys. Okay, sorry. What are we doing? Yeah, deleting the object, right? So how to delete the object? So to delete, there is a lot of difference between deleting the object and deleting the version. So to delete the object, just first go to the bucket, click on your bucket, and make sure that the show versions is turned off. If you select the object, that means we are deleting the object. If you select the version, we are deleting the version. Select the object and click on delete. Now what it is asking me to enter for the confirmation of the object deletion? Just delete. But whenever you're trying to delete the version, it is asking you to mention permanently delete. So whenever you type permanently delete, that means whenever it is asking permanently delete, which you cannot recover. If it is only asking you to type delete in S3 object deletion, which means you can recover at any time. Okay, let me click on delete objects. And what are the objects available in the S3 bucket? No objects. And here, if I refresh, if I try to access the object URL, it is showing access denied, because there is no such object exist with the name called version.txt. Now, how to recover that object? So we access the object URL and we found that we cannot access the object. Now let us observe the versions also. So if you go to your bucket, as there is no objects available, if you turn on the show versions, you can see the previous three versions as is. Previous three versions as is, like one is hello everyone, hello all, and hello world. And it is marked with the delete marker, like a kind of like covering your bike or something with the cover. So nobody can see what is inside. So if you remove the delete marker, automatically this version is accessible by the users. Always, whenever you delete the object, especially if you enable the versioning, object will not be deleted permanently. Instead of deletion permanently, the object will be marked with the delete marker, so that the object is not available for access, but still it is available in the backend. If I delete this delete marker, what will happen? This will become the current version, and this version will be accessible by anybody. Okay, so here you can write down like object is marked with delete marker, and object is not accessible using the object URL. And then if you delete the delete marker, then the next version will become the current version, and the version is accessible by the users using the object URL. So now what we do is delete the delete marker, of the object version.txt and access using the object URL. That means we are restoring the deleted object. That means we are restoring the deleted object. So what you guys can expect, like whenever I'm trying to delete the delete marker, is it going to ask me to type delete or permanently delete? Whenever you're deleting the version, it is a permanent delete. Whenever you're deleting the object, that is like a kind of just a delete, and it will be maintained as a version in the backend. Okay, so now here, to delete the object, first go to your bucket, click on your bucket. You cannot see any objects because we don't have any objects available. Turn on show versions. Select the delete marker. Select the delete marker and click on delete. And now you can see permanently, sorry. Somewhere I have used some wrong. Okay. Permanently delete. Even if you use a wrong uppercase also, it will not allow you to delete. It's a case sensitive. Type permanent delete and click on delete objects. The delete marker got deleted. There is no delete marker. And if you turn off the versions, you can see the object back into your S3 bucket. If you use that particular URL to refresh, you can see the data. So now what are the versions available on your bucket now? This is the current status of your bucket, right? Of your object. Now, I would like to make this as a current version. I would like to make this hello everyone as latest version. That means I would like to display this content to the users. So as per the steps, what we have to do, we have to delete these two versions so that automatically the hello everyone will become the current version. But I would like to keep these two also as a version. How can I do that? How can I do that? So here, there is no option like selecting a specific version. Is there any option that make as a current version? No, right? So how can I make, sorry, not this one, this one. There is no option, right? Okay. So if I upload the file which contains hello everyone, then that will become current version, right? But unfortunately, in my laptop, I don't have any object which contains hello everyone as a data. Then how can I make this as a current version without deleting the other versions? Just I can download the version and I can re-upload. So at any given point of time, we can download the versions. At any given point of time, we can download any previous version of the objects. Using the object URL, you cannot access, but by logging into the Amazon account, you can download any previous version of the object. So here, if you download the oldest version of the object, which contains hello everyone, and upload it into the S3 bucket so that hello everyone will become the current version without deleting in between versions. So have you got the point? Generally, to make this hello everyone as the current version, we have to delete these two. But I don't want to delete these two versions because these two versions might be required in future. Like after 1 month or something, I need this data to check for a reference or something. So what I can do is I can download this version object and I can re-upload. So that here there will be one more version added as a current version, and all these three will become previous versions. And again, there will be a new version with hello everyone as a current version. So here what we do is download the object version which contains hello everyone. Download the object version hello everyone and upload again into S3 bucket as public. Then what will happen? This is going to be happen. This will become previous version, and then hello everyone will become a current version. We are downloading this and we are re-uploading. So this is the current version, version 1, version 2, version 3, and this is the latest version. Without downloading and re-uploading, if you delete these two, we are going to lose two previous versions. because we don't know when we might require these two versions for the reference or something, right? We never delete any versions unless we are going to clean up the data, because we don't know like when we might require those versions or something. But here this is a simple line, right? But sometimes in the S3 bucket, we might upload different versions of the softwares and everything. So definitely we might require those things. So instead of deleting, we can download the old version and we will re-upload that version into the S3 bucket. Okay, let us verify this. Let us download the object version, which is hello everyone. And before downloading, we can verify the content also, right? So out of all these, which one is the version contains hello everyone? So just you can select the one and you can click on open just to check which one is that. Okay, so whatever the object version I selected, that is the correct one, right? Select that and you can click on download. That was downloaded. Now what I do is I will upload it back to the object. Add files and downloads. This is the one. Let me select the permissions, grant public read access, and click on upload. So object got uploaded. Earlier it is showing hello world, and now we can see hello everyone. And if you go back to the bucket, and if you see the versions, you can see 4 versions available. This is the hello everyone. This is hello world, hello all, and hello everyone. Okay, right. So now what we do is suspend the versioning on S3 bucket. And then upload version.txt 2 times with random data. 2 times, like instead of 1 time, we'll upload 2 times. At the time of suspending the version, just keep it some space here. We can observe what is the status of the files. Again, we will upload the version, not 2 times randomly. I think it's better to upload 1 by 1. Edit the version.txt with some data and upload into S3 bucket. Then observe the versions. Again, edit the version.txt file with some random data and upload into S3 bucket. Here also observe the versions, like whether is it going to maintain maintaining the previous versions or not, is it creating the new versions or not, all the things we have to observe. So right now the status of the object is this one, right? Right now the status of object is this one. It has totally 4 versions. 1 is the current version and the 3 are the previous versions. Now we are going to suspend the versioning on S3 bucket, and then we will go to the versions and we will check whether all the 4 versions are available or they got deleted along with the suspension of the versioning. Okay, right. So now how to suspend the versioning? Go to your S3 bucket, like click on your S3 bucket, the same way how we enabled. Click on properties, click on edit under bucket versioning, click on edit under bucket versioning and select the suspend and select this checkbox that you are aware of what is going to happen after suspending the bucket version. Select the checkbox that I acknowledge the outcome of suspending bucket version. Click on save changes. Okay, so do you think that the previous versions and everything will be deleted automatically? No, already theoretically we discussed it, right? So go to your S3 bucket and still you can see the show versions button because already it containing the previous versions. What happened here? You can see all the 4 versions. Now, what I do is I will update the file again. I will upload a new version of the file. Now, what will happen? What is your guess? Now I'm uploading a file with some different data. Permissions, read, understand, upload. So obviously the user will be able to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. Now question is, what will happen to the versions? If we click on show versions, how many versions you can see here? This is not the version. This is the unversion. Whenever you see there is no version ID, that is not the version. Basically, this is the kind of a current version, but we cannot call it as a current version. These all are the versions, right? Now these 4 are the previous versions, and this is the unversioned object. This is the unversioned object. If I upload one more time, what will happen? This will be replaced. The selected one, which is null, right? That will be replaced with the new data, but still it will maintain all the previous 4 versions. Let me show you that also. So here we have this. So here also previous version. And here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, which is unversioned object, which is unversioned object. You will get some clarity. That's why we are going to upload one more time. Let me upload the same file one more time with a different data. So whenever you are doing this practical, just try to understand like what is happening and everything. Just go one by one and observe what exactly is happening so that you will get some clarity. And here, let me. What guys? What do you guys think? What will happen now? You can see that still there are 4 versions and 1 unversioned object. So how it looks like is like this. It will not create any version for this one. That will be replaced. You cannot get back this particular data at any cost. Now, if I delete the object, what will happen? Delete the object version.txt. What will happen now? What will happen now? This is the current status of the object, right? If I delete the object, what will happen? So if I delete the object, this is the unversion object, right? It will be definitely permanently deleted. Then what will happen? It will become current version, right? Let us see. That's not true. Let us see what will happen. Let us see what will happen. Okay. So what will happen here is it will be deleted permanently because that is not versioned object. Then these previous versions will not become current version automatically. Then how they will be hidden? These 4 will be marked with the delete marker automatically. Let us see that. Delete the object version.txt and observe the versions. If you don't observe the versions, you cannot get the technical point of like how exactly the versioning will work. So now to delete the object, you have to make sure that the show versions is turned off. Select the object, click on delete. Now what it is asking? It is not asking you to type delete. It is asking permanently delete. So definitely the object will be deleted permanently. There is no doubt in that. But still it has some previous versions available. Those versions will be available in the backend. If I click on, you cannot see any object here, right? If you click on the show versions, what is happening here? Only you can see 4 versions and then delete marker. So the actual object got deleted, but still the versions will be available forever unless you delete manually. So you can see like this. So here you can see it will be delete marker. And there is no version here. We can say null. There is no version ID, delete marker. It will be marked with the delete marker. Now, if I delete this delete marker, what will happen? If I delete this delete marker, what will happen? This will become the current version. The users will be able to see this one. Even you can check that also. You can delete the delete marker so that automatically the users will be able to see the object with this data. If you suspend the versioning, the objects or the versions cannot be deleted automatically. And once you suspend, the new versions of the object cannot be maintained, but already existing versions will be preserved. Preserving means like it will be maintained. So can we delete the versions completely? Yes, you can. You have to select each and every version individually, and you can click on delete so that all the versions will be deleted. Okay, right. So this is about the versioning. We will use this versioning so to restore the objects which got accidentally deleted or which got modified accidentally, like a kind of a backup. We should not call it as a backup, but we can use this as a kind of a backup for your files. But if someone delete the version permanently, you cannot recover that, right? So that's why we cannot say it is using as a backup. Just you can restore the object from the previous version if it got, what we call that, if the object got modified or the object got deleted by mistake. If the version got deleted, you cannot restore it. If you delete the version means permanently you are deleting it. Like instead of deleting the object, if you delete the object and the backup, what will happen? You can lose all the things, right? The same thing. If you delete the object can be recovered using the version. If you delete the version, that cannot be recovered. Okay, so this is about the versioning. And is there any charges for enabling the versioning feature? There is no charge for enabling the versioning. But whenever you maintain multiple versions, it will accumulate a lot of sizes, right? So you will be charged for this entire size, 14 plus 9 plus 11 plus 14. Actually, the single object will have like 14 bytes, right? Let us say 1 MB file. If you modify some small data, every object will contains like 1 MB each. So it will maintain like 4 MB of storage cost, and you will be charged for 4 MB instead of 1 MB. How much data you are storing, how many versions you are storing, they will calculate the storage of each and every version, and for that you will be charged. So here I will be charged like 14 plus 11 plus 9 plus 14, like 20 plus 20, like 48 bytes. But up to 5 GB is free, so we will not be charged for this small amount of storage. Okay, right. So this is about the versioning. So are you guys clear, or any questions on this versioning? Okay, so if you guys are clear, we can stop the session, and tomorrow we can go with encryption. Do you guys know what is encryption? Okay, so we will discuss about like what is encryption, different types of encryptions available, and what type of encryption we are using on AS3. All these things we can cover in the tomorrow's session. Okay, all right. Thank you, everyone. We'll continue tomorrow at the same time.